Imelda Marcos, well known for her shoe collection. It would be true to say that you're probably the Imelda Marcos of the JD Cymru Premier League, and you brought along a few boots to show us today. How many have you got in total though, Ryan?
Total left probably about 40-50 pairs, but collectively I've probably had over 100 really. I think over the years a few of them have been battered and are worse for wear, but I brought along a few here which mean something to me, and I've got a bit of a past to them. So.
And indeed, and you've chosen 5 to show us. They are in chronological order. Do you want to show us the first pair? And I think this could be possibly the very first pair of boots you had.
Yeah. I think it was these ones. These were the very first pair of Predators that I had. I was very fortunate and lucky that my family bought these for me, and I was very lucky through my childhood that they did look after me and bought a lot of pair of boots for me. But no, these are my very first pair. I started off at a local team. It was called Mini Devils at the time. I must have only been, I can't really remember, 7, 6 maybe, and I just went along for a laugh really, just to see what it was about. I didn't really think anything of football at that age, and I went along. I really enjoyed it. I was having fun, and then a friend of my dad's, Butty his name was, that was his nickname at the time, he started up a team in Garden Village, which is where I'm from, and so a lot of the boys from there then went over to that, and that's where I started and grew up playing football with these boots.
And what size are those boots?
Well, I'm not sure actually. They are a 4.
Size 4?
They're size 4, yeah. So I was always quite a big boy when I was young, to be fair. I think there's a couple of boys in our team that are only maybe a 5 or a 6. So funnily enough, I was a size 4, and
Well, size 4, we come to the second pair of boots now.
Yeah.
You grew, or at least your feet did,
my feet
considerably.
Did, yes.
Do you want to tell us all about that second pair?
These are the second pair that I brought along today. I think these were my favourite pair of boots, I think, since I was growing up. And again, my granddad always used to buy me a pair of boots every year. So when he bought me these, I was very, very privileged. And my favourite boots, because I love the colour gold on my boots. I always have done. And I love the style of boots that the Predators were. Again, I was still at Garden Village at the time when I had these. I then got lucky enough to be picked up by Wrexham when I was 7. So I played there for 4 years, and these were the boots that I was wearing while I was at Wrexham. Because at the time, 3G pitches weren't really a thing. So everything was grass, so I needed studs, and I think they've even changed now because these are blades, and I don't think you're allowed to wear blades anymore. So probably would never be able to give them to anybody or anything like that, but no, these are really important pair of boots in my career so far. So yeah.
And you say you like the colour gold. Well, they were predominantly black with gold stripes. However, the third pair, very gold indeed.
Gold indeed, yeah. These are actually a different shape, so they're not even the normal style of Predators that I usually went for. These were Addy Pures. Again, very lucky to get them paid for me when I was younger. These boots were very important to me because I got them when I signed for Everton. So when I first signed there when I was 11 going on 12. So again, these are size 10 now, I think. So we've jumped up from a 4 to a 6 to a 10 in the space of 5 years. So that's a bit crazy. But no, these are really important to me because when we went over to play in the Milk Cup, this was when I was 12 and 13. And these were the boots that I wore when we won that competition, and we were the one of the first Everton sides to do it at the time, which was really, really good for us. I always remember in the semi-final we were playing Watford. We were 3-0 down at half-time, so all of our heads were down. We were thinking this was going to be the end of our tournament, and then we come back. We ended up going 3-3, going through on penalties, and then winning the final against County Antrim. And I always remember wearing these boots, so they have a special memory for me. So yeah.
A youngster playing for Everton, is there a boot competition amongst maybe younger players? Do they take note of the boots that the other players are wearing?
Yes, of course. It was always I always like to be different, so I think that's why I enjoy the colour gold so much. When I was going through my youth, I always tried to get boots that no one had. And I don't know if that was because it made me feel better, when I'm playing, knowing that, I might have that slight edge on someone else because I had a different pair of boots than what they had. But no, I always tried and looked for the most funky boots, as you would say, that was on the market. Yeah.
Well, gold theme continues because your penultimate pair of boots that you're going to show us, gold and white this time.
Yeah, gold and white this time. I really like the white colour white as well. I think when I was here, I think start of this season, I had a pair of white boots as well. But no, I really like the gold on these ones as well. I think these were limited edition actually when I first got them. I don't think they sold many of these, so I was very fortunate again. I'm very lucky to be able to get a hold of them. But again, another little story from these boots is we went down to Qatar. The prince paid for us on a private flight and looked after us, put us in a really nice hotel, and we were able to play the Qatar team in Aspire, the training complex. And I always remember taking these boots, and it was a great game. It was a great experience going to Qatar, going to a country out there I've never been before, and it was my first real trip away where I was travelling. I think it was 6 hours the flight was, so it was my first real opportunity of staying away and playing in a different country, playing in such a heat. I think in between half times and in between training sessions when we were there, we actually had to duck our feet in buckets of water just because the AstroTurf was so hot. So I always remember that, and I always remember wearing these boots, and I remember doing well over there, so yeah.
And last but certainly not least, you ditched the gold and you've gone for the pink and green fluorescent look.
Yes, so these were an important boot to me at Everton. I also took these over with me to Aberdeen as well, but at Everton we went over to the Dallas Cup. We played over there. We were actually playing a year above ourselves, so we played in a 1997 tournament when we rolled 1998s. And it was a really, really big tournament. It's one of the biggest ones in Europe, I think, in the world. And as a European team coming into it, it was really important that we competed. And I always remember playing Tigres in the first game, and we lost 1-0. And we were all thinking, here we go. We're playing against a lot of teams that were a year older than us. And we ended up, we played some Japanese team after that, and then another American team. Managed to get through the groups. Made it all the way through to the final, managed to play Fulham in the final, and we won 3-1, and it was great experience. I think that's one of the biggest competitions that I've ever won, and I always remember wearing these boots. And it was funnily enough, when I first signed here, Aaron Edwards had these boots on, and he used to wear these especially when we played on grass, so that was always a good reminder of a good memory of playing back in my Everton days. So yeah.
And there is a common thread that runs through the boots. It's not gold, it's Adidas.
Yes, I've always been Adidas. I think there was only 2 pairs of Nikes that I've ever had. I don't know, I think it's just the feel of the boot, and I've always enjoyed scoring goals with them and playing well. So yeah, I've just always enjoyed Adidas boots. I think the 2 times I did try and change, I enjoyed them, but they just didn't fit my feet. And even now when you see me play, I'm still wearing Adidas now. So yeah, I always have done, and by the sounds of it, I think I always will.
And is there perhaps a psychological edge to it as well?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think because obviously I feel like I've had quite a interesting and good career so far. So I think to change something that's going well for me, I think that would be silly to change. But as I said, I've always liked the colours and the style and the feel of the boots. So I just think why not? Why change?
Ryan Harrington, it's been fascinating today to hear about your boot collection, and in particular you brought 5 in, 5 from 40. I think there's definitely a part 2 to this.
Definitely, yeah. I'd be more than happy to come and show you more.
Watch this space for the sequel.
Yeah.